Well, good evening, beautiful people of the internet. Welcome once again to the Studio Rats live Q&A. This week, coming at you all the way from the Surrey Hills with the one, the only, the living legend, Mr. Jack Duxbury.
The J-Dog.
You've got audio. You've got little audio things.
Do you want the bed? Do you want the bed?
Oh,
Jack is coming to us this evening from his cupboard with way too many guitars and far too much kit in the background.
Yeah, we're going to have a look at them.
I'll get it out.
Yeah?
Oh, this is great. It's so nice to see you guys.
Yeah, good to see you, mate. Everything right? So you're in Mark's studio in Wimbledon today, yeah?
Yeah, I'm in the cupboard, in my little Sonic cupboard.
This is you're not allowed out. When does he allow you out? Is it like he needs something and he just like I need a keyboard part? Let's get him out quickly and put him back.
Do you get toilet breaks?
No, catheter.
Mate, that's spelled catheter, and it's not for that.
I call it stem cell research. What I do, I just send what he makes. That's all. I don't know if you've been an assistant, but you know when people are like, "Yeah, I'm working on records," I don't do shit. I just send shit and bounce shit,
and tune stuff. Yeah,
tune stuff, and
yeah,
I'm so excited, Paul Drew.
What?
Let's get straight into it.
What?
There's big events going on in the world.
Yeah.
But what really matters to people is it's just been Black Friday. What did you buy?
Oh, what did I buy? I bought an iPad Pro.
Oh, nice.
I got the big.
I got the big one with a pencil.
Yeah, oh, baby.
The sidecar thing is mind blowing, right?
Sidecar's brilliant. Sidecar is brilliant. And also the pencil, because I had to do so. Hold on, I should tell everyone, and I'm going to tell everyone throughout the show. Yeah. So as we reach 10,000 subscribers,
by the way,
as we reach 10,000, it means that we can have merchandise on YouTube. So
we get merch.
We get merch. So I was all last weekend. I was designing T-shirts and stuff, and I was using like the pen on the iPad and drawing stuff. And anyway, so if anyone wants any merch, any Studio Rats merch, for some reason the actual Studio Rats logo merch hasn't come out, isn't up on the channel. But the picture that I designed is wicked. You got to see it. It's like a microphone with like whiskers and stuff.
I thought you were just going to say you drew loads of dicks. If you want it, it's just loads of dicks.
Oh yeah, I do that.
First thing when you get an iPad, you got the pencil. You're like, what am I going to draw? You're like,
at this point, we should say hello to those that are joining us. Good evening,
Safi, CJ, Mike, Vincent, and Florian. Hi guys.
Oh, what's up, guys?
How you doing? If you've got any questions for any of us or general kind of music tech type stuff or anything you want to get off the chest, it's a speakeasy evening. Feel free to share the love and all that sort of stuff.
What did you get, James?
Do you know what? Okay, sad as it may seem, I'm in the middle of preparations for a certain event that's happening in a few weeks or a couple of weeks now, and I needed to up my game as far as my sleigh bells were concerned. I have bought the mother of all sleigh bells.
Jeez. He's just blown the tweeters in my expensive speakers by shaking that thing.
How much research went into those sleigh bells?
More than you'd probably think sensible. They're actually LP ones. They are actually proper a brand. They are quite good ones.
They look like, it looks like a weapon that my son uses on Fortnite.
The thing is, if you're going like, and this is going to sound so pathetic, but if you're doing for a whole 6-minute track, I've got bicep. Well, one arm stronger than the other for entirely different reasons. But they were £55 for a proper set of sleigh bells. I was like,
That's
as opposed to
it's for life though, isn't it? Sleigh bells for life, not just for Christmas.
Well, mainly for Christmas, but Christmas does have a habit of coming around every year. I've actually got to do some recording after we do this. I've got some recording to do for the next Just in Mike Aiton's comment.
Oh, I didn't see there were comments. Right?
Oh yeah. If you go over to on your left hand side, if you click, where it says private chat, click on comments. Private chat is for us to have a little.
Oh, hey guys.
Chat. What else did I buy? I don't think I really bought anything. I mean, I bought a half decent tambourine a couple of weeks ago, which was £100.
I'm thinking that the bit I struggle with is the bombardment of the plug-in adverts, and I think, be good, Jack, you got everything you need, but then I cave in every year.
I did buy. God, about 5, 6, 7 years ago, I did some freelance work for In Music, as in M Audio, Alesis, blah 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 blah, and they had a really cool synth. I mean, a really cool synth called
Sledge.
No, Spark or something like that. I can't remember what it was called. Anyway, I found it on Plugin Boutique for like $19, and it made like really fat kind of. I'm going to say
soft synth. Yeah,
soft synth. Really fat noises, really cool. Just wow, that sort of stuff, and it had a really cool filter on it. And I thought for like a tenner.
Yeah, that's good.
It's a no-brainer to get that really kind of big fat.
You get 4 of them for the price of 1 sleigh bell.
Yes. Yeah.
Hey, we've got Florian said, question, M1 or not to M1? This is
M1 every day.
Yeah.
If there was an M1 on eBay cheap, I would get one. A friend of mine actually posted some stuff this week.
Hold on. I'm not sure he's talking about that sort of M1. I think he's talking about the M1 chip. I think he's talking about the M1 chip. M1 was a terrible synth, mate. Jack, come on. M1 was shocking, wasn't it?
Apart from dance, it's just house piano, isn't it? It's the house piano.
M1 also had the ba-dum.
I thought Florian was talking about, like maybe he's going up north or something, and he's in North London.
Yeah, that's so true. Florian, what M1?
He's not going up north.
It is the buzz question, though. He's right, Florian. It is the big thing. I
was right. He wants, yeah. So that is a good question. Before we get back on it, ScreenFlow crashes on M1 chips. Mike says, interesting.
Oh, let's not go anywhere near that then. I personally,
ScreenFlow crashes on everything though. My ScreenFlow just shocking.
I've been doing some enormously. We'll get back to these in a minute. I've been doing some absolutely horrendously huge ScreenFlow projects on this machine, and it's been absolutely fine. I mean, 34 lanes of chopping and changing and stuff in ScreenFlow, and yeah, it's been horrendous.
Are you doing working on Avatar too? Is that?
It feels like it. I'm replacing some foreign language VO and to camera with my English and my camera, and it's a challenge. I'm not going to say it's a nightmare because I'm getting paid for it, but it's definitely a challenge.
But so with my ScreenFlow, I mean, I've got an iMac Pro, so a heavy spec machine, and if I put like 4K video in ScreenFlow, it just goes. Well, like I can run like lines and lines of 4K in DaVinci, and it's absolutely fine. The code is so bad.
I think the code is very old. I don't think they've ever gone in. Anyway, they've never really dived in and refreshed it in a big way, I don't think. Anyway, M1 chips. So, Florian, as you know, I am both PC and I am Mac. I'm platform agnostic.
Hold on a second. Hold on. I've got an apology to make. I've just seen Hank's name. Hank, we were supposed to have a meeting today, weren't we?
This is what he's like, isn't it? This is what Drew's like.
Oh no! Oh Hank, I'm so sorry.
Fail.
Didn't get a call through. Sorry, Hank. Oh mate, I'm so sorry. Right, we need to. Sorry.
You got a free shot, Hank. Take your shot in the comments.
Definitely take a shot.
Hands by his side.
I'll make that up. Hank, I'll make that up to you. I will make that up to you, and we'll do it. Well, if you're available tomorrow, we'll go a bit longer. Sorry, mate. Oh God.
Fail.
Let's do it now. Let's get Hank in now.
Yeah. Hank, come in.
I'll send you the link. Right, Paul, are you feeling bad enough yet now, Paul?
I feel terrible.
Bad now? Good. Okay, so M1 chips. in my world right now, I'm in no rush to swap.
Right.
The interesting thing, I think, is if you're one of the people who's just ordered or just received your nice, shiny, new Mac Pro cheese grater Mark II, you're thinking, that's a better way of... Yeah, because when they put the M1 or the M1 Plus or the M1X or whatever they want to call it, the version 2, in those machines, the previous ones are going to be left behind. So I heard someone say that the new M1 laptop or the M1 Mac Mini leaves the new 2019 Mac Pro in the weeds, on speed tests.
Jesus.
I've actually been really dorky and watched a lot of videos on this show.
Have you?
If you just drop 10 grand on your well spec'd, not super spec'd, but on a well spec'd Mac Pro, I think you'd be gunning for Apple right now, because there is no upgrade path. It's not a case of, oh, we'll take that Intel chip off there and put an M1 on. It's a different board. I think you'd be frustrated right now. I'm
what
not.
Are you thinking?
Me?
Yeah.
I'm just trying to find, because Hank sent me a message on Skype and I didn't get it.
Okay.
So I'm feeling terribly guilty,
James,
and
I'm with you. I think that it would be prudent, like everyone, but Hank's probably the same, and Florian. I think most people in audio are probably just going to sit out that first round.
Yeah.
If you can afford to sit out the first round, I don't think any clients or any of your machines doing the best. You can get over that thing of being like, oh, I've got one, I've got the new iPhone. It's because a lot of the optimization seems to be the big key. When it's all optimized, it's killing, but it's so fresh. But the M1X sounds exciting. I believe in that. I think there was an official leak because they had to do it for the stock forecasts like 2 days ago. I was watching that. So they've announced the M1X range. So an even more powerful 12-core, 16-core version of that chip. At the moment, it's 4, and it's like you're right. It's outpacing everything. Most exciting thing for me is heat efficiency in laptops, because I put all my money into a laptop because it just makes sense for me. But it's a freaking killer. Luckily, I've got that room in there so I can record away. But it sometimes in sessions it's bane. I'm always denoising it with that fan noise. I run a fan manager bit of software that keeps it a bit better, but I'm just excited about the heat or anything. I think I've got enough power, but
even Apple say they're not sold as laptops. They sell them as portables, because actually, if you have one of these, I've got a 2017 MacBook Pro. If you have one of these on your lap and you're doing anything, video editing or anything like that, anything heavy with it,
unreal.
It's toast.
I've got a secret weapon called Turbo Boost Switcher Pro that I have on my MacBook, and I can limit when it turns on, because I don't actually need the multi-threading. That seems to be what kicks it off. So I only turn it on when I'm doing stems. When I'm running normally, it works fine.
See, I was thinking of inventing some like a fan management software, and I was going to call it Fan Nanny. I thought it'd be quite. I thought that's quite.
Can you hear that? Can you hear that?
You need a new sample. It's hard where you are. I'm in an interesting bit because I bought this a year and a half ago. It's a i9. I got 32. I spent loads on it. 32 gig of RAM in the just before the 16 came out as well. So I've got 15, and it hurts because I looked at that MacBook Air and I thought that's got no fan in it.
Right.
And I was thinking maybe I just buy that for portable sessions, because then guaranteed no fan noise if I'm in the room writing. And then those Mac Minis just look unreal, man. Like, and have a two.
Then you put it in a chassis, in a Sonnet chassis, and have it all racked up, and it all looks really smart. And
but that iPad Pro with my MacBook now, I have that dual monitor setup even if I go to someone else's room, which is a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
And it works really beautifully.
It's very the iPad Pro has been on my shopping list for a little while, for exactly that, for dual monitor.
I got a secondhand 2018, and it was under 650.
Mm.
And I think I don't know which one you got, but I didn't want the camera. I just
Yeah, I mean, I haven't used the camera. I don't care about the camera. I just wanted the most spec'd up one that I could get, so I could. So I don't have to worry about it for a couple of years, and then.
But you're right. But Paul made me spend money on Black Friday.
What'd you buy?
Because you're always you're always talking to me through my adverts. I upgraded from Vocaline Project to Pro.
Did you?
And it's life changing. I don't think they're making a big enough deal about it, because I had no ARA stuff going on. You know, I phoned you up a few times. I was like, oh God, how do you do this? This is rubbish. And I had to scan it in. Now the ARA works in Logic, and a new world. I'm just doing stats for fun, bro. I'm doing do 20. Do 20, it's fine.
yeah. Their stuff's great. I mean, it's witchcraft, isn't it?
Oh, and it's a different algorithm. I think the Pro is well worth it. Anyone out there who hasn't tried it? Oh.
Yeah. It's just a time saver, isn't it? It's just such a time saver.
But the project one never did it for me. I never got the workflow with the dub thing, and I had to do it in real time.
Have you seen like the workflow in Studio One? It's ridiculous.
I know, but you're always talking about that. I can't do it because I'm a minion. My master has Logic. Yeah,
but just export if you exported the files and then did it in Studio One, you could.
But now in Logic it does it. Now in Logic it does it.
Oh, does it? It does it in the same way.
Yeah, it does it.
Can you do it
only on the Pro?
Can you do it like where you put in like the guides, you put in like your lead vocal, and then you highlight like a bunch of. You can do that in Logic.
Yes.
Oh, great. Okay, that's great.
And they said they couldn't do it forever, and so anyone who's out there, it's worth the money. Step up to the ARA now, and I can do 10 stacked vocals in one click.
Avid, if you're listening, we'd like ARA as well, please. Please. I appreciate that.
Come on.
Don't listen to me, but
hey, it's all right, mate. It's all right because they've made it dark now. It's fine. That they spent a lot of time making Pro Tools darker.
Paul, because you are the voice of Vocaline.
Yeah.
What would be your recommend? Even though with that one click, there's still a bit of me. I've only had it for a few days working that way. Do you work through region by region and then bounce in places you go along, or would you do like the whole? Because I've got no time limit now in Pro. Technically, I could do the whole shebang.
Oh, I would see. Like if no,
I've got chorus.
I do it section by section. So if I'm doing, I'd do a chorus, and then you need to think about how long things are, and there's still sometimes say someone missed out a word or didn't pronounce the word. Sometimes it can you have to change the settings a little bit, and it does mess it up. Okay, but the guys are geniuses. They've done some amazing things.
It is really good how it's very natural. And I've been trying it on guitar parts, on double guitar parts. That's really
Does it work?
Yeah.
Great. Yeah.
But it still scares me. There was a time when I was at Sibelius and we used to say things like, or you'd get someone say, right, well, I've put a CD into my CD drive. How does it produce the score? And you just, roll about on the floor laughing because you think this is not possible. This is voodoo. You're so far from that now. But with things like ARA, with DNA, direct note access from within Melodyne, there are features within Isotope, Ozone 9, Music Rebalance, where you can put a stereo file in and you can change the volume of the drums, the bass, and the vocal.
What?
Yeah. You couldn't really release it as a mix, though, could you? It's not as though.
Do you know what? If you use it gently,
it
is totally inaudible.
Really?
If you push it hard. I mean, there's a new algorithm going to the latest version. I know this. I work with them. It is proper voodoo.
Right.
If you've got a track where you want to isolate the vocal, say you want to do you want to take the vocal out, you can drop it by, I think it's 6 dB, and that's enough where you put a new vocal on top, you're never going to hear the difference. I mean, I was really, really impressed. Or if you want to isolate the vocal, take the track down, you can do that.
That's
It's
crazy. Isn't it?
it's really impressive.
Bonkers stuff.
Michael Hurwitz is saying,
Mhm.
do you think Pro Tools will ever have ARA?
I think it will.
I think it will. I think there's a lot of negotiation needs to be done around a boardroom table before it actually hits. People have to worry about it in program language. I suspect that's the problem. I don't think it's a technical thing. I think it's a business thing.
Michael, I can say as a guy new to the ARA thing in the last week or so, it's turned a plugin that I hardly ever used into something I want to use all the time. It's completely changed the experience for me.
For me, it's worth, and I know that people are really ingrained into using Pro Tools, but for me, it's that makes it worth switching. It's ARA makes it worth going. Actually, Pro Tools, yes, it's got the name and it's
and paying monthly. What the F?
Oh, it's just ridiculous. You go like Studio One, and you just buy it once, and they look after you. They're great company.
I love all their promo from the. It just seems like they got fresh code and they can go wherever they want. It seems like not
So slick.
good.
It's such a slick
as
program.
well. It's because Studio One is not trying to satisfy two masters. They're not trying to keep the post crew and the music crew satisfied. They're saying, look, a bit like UAR with Luna, we are a music platform. Post guys, yes, you can probably do most of the things that we do in post-production, like, tuning a vocal for a voiceover or something like that. You can do that in any platform. But if you want to get into heavy editing of 5,000 ADR stems or whatever, that's Pro Tools only territory. That's why they can charge what they do, because it's the only one suitable for the job. Whereas actually for 150, 200 tracks in a pop song, or an orchestral recording or whatever, I won't say GarageBand can do it, but certainly you could do it in Reaper or any of the other DAWs out there. No problem at all.
That iPad Pro is pretty nippy, isn't it, Paul?
Yeah. So we're about to start on a series of, can you produce a song? Can you mix and produce a song on an iPad?
Speaking to our friends at
can I recommend three apps if you haven't got them already? There's one called Sampler, SAMPLR. Right. And that's been incredible. The other one is called Reslice.
Right.
And I'll explain what they're after. And then the other one is called Ribbon. Firstly, Sample is I use the OP1 a lot. I've got one here, and I love old keyboards like Casio keyboards I can sing in and play. You just sing into it or drag anything into it, and that big screen becomes a multi-touch instrument. So you could like sing the 4 chords in a song, and you can like put your fingers on it, and some modes are like bowing it, but it's so simple. You could give it to a baby and it sounds amazing. The other one is called Reslice, where I can get a drummer in there. I just go in and go, "Oh, play us a groove, mate," and it goes dum 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 dum, and then it with one click finds all the transients and locks it into time and rejigs it into different grooves. A bit like that Cubase recycle thing back in the day.
The old recycle, yeah.
And then the other one is called Ribbon, which a lot of the I'm into Chase Bliss pedals, and all that weird stuff. And the ambient guys, they were doing these ambient soundscapes where stuff was moving over time. There's an app called Ribbon, RIBN, and it's. I'll get it out. 2 seconds. I'll get it out.
Get it out.
I'll get it out.
Well, that sort of show.
Yeah.
Oh, that nearly went.
As he drops his thing.
It's right. It's an old one. Here we go. Bit Ribbon, because it's hard to explain it. It's that. And then if I went, and you can use this on synths, on faders in the DAW, anything like that. Wirelessly, I've done it with the DAW.
Right.
And I'll go, oh, I want the volume to go up and then down, but at this tempo. I could pause. And then it's mapped to that CC. And then on this one, I could be like,
this is too good. Oh, keep going. It's a light show.
Yeah, exactly. But it's so simple. But each one is a CC, And so that could be filter cut off, something that's really boring normally becomes, you can build like ambient soundscapes or just kind of move your loops about a bit.
That's
cool.
But it's bonkers, isn't it? Like how much you can do.
So that's that sampler, and then I can play multi-touch the waveform. So what I normally do is do like the chords of the song, and then there's a bow mode, and it's really like if you're into Bon Iver, Sigur Rós type stuff.
What do you output that through? Do you use an
mini jack? Mate, I'm not precious. Most of my stuff's out of headphones or mini jacks with all this little.
That's perfect. And anyway, I just got to answer. Look, whatever question Hank says tonight, you have to answer it. So Hank says, could each of you share a little bit about some songwriting strategies or processes you've developed over time? Do you write in the DAW? How long do you start thinking about production? Oh, that's a great question.
That's a very good question.
Shall I go first?
Go on then.
Yes, true.
Production. I start thinking about production immediately because I've got the attention span of a 2-year-old, and I have to be inspired. So, for instance, if I put down a guitar part, I can't then. I just have to keep. It has to sound right. So I cannot just go right. There's a guitar part. I'm gonna worry about the effects later on. I cannot do that. I need to know, like, the drums go down, the drums need to be processed, and whatever I'm doing with it, then everything just gets sort of built up and built up and built up as I'm going along. So songwriting strategies. Co-writing.
We've written a song together.
Yeah, we have. Oh yeah, we've done 2. We had 2 releases. I think one went quite high in the old Jim of Bell, in the old Belgium. Yeah, we did. That was 2 songs we did, wasn't it?
But it's nice that you're right. Your attention to from a guy that was there watching you, it seemed like it was all encompassing. Yeah, the production, the writing was happening on, and when you've got 2 people in the room, you divert. You split the duties, don't you? Especially with an artist. Like if you're the music guy, I often find that I'm doing all the small talk and like, oh yeah, what do you like for dinner? And then you're in there like tuning her vocals.
yeah, hiding. Yeah, you're keeping her eyes away from the screen while you're fixing.
Oh God, you sound great.
Now,
she actually is a great singer.
Oh, she was, yeah.
She's a great singer.
That's just me here.
In the other, let's have a look. Do you write in the DAW? Yes, I always write in the DAW. So I tend to write in sections. So I'll have like a verse section, a verse called. It's always oh damn. So I just lost something down the back. I've just broken my wedding ring in half, but it's come apart. It's fine. I tend to write in sections. So verse. Yeah, she won't be happy. Yes, that's thrown me a little bit. I need to go and find that.
Such a pro.
I just fiddle with things all the time. Right, sorry, go on. You two go for it now.
All right, then.
You talk. I'm going to go behind, and I'm going to go and find what I lost.
Right. So, I think my process is probably the most different of the 3 of us, I would expect. Because I will probably my creation process is start to finish.
Found it.
Oh, thank God for that. Because I like working with him. Believe it or not, he might be a bit forgetful. Hank, sorry. No, my process is very start to finish. So if I write a song, I'm thinking, right, this is the progression, like the chords or whatever, for the verse, the chorus, the middle 8, and then I will go straight to the drums, play it for a bit, and the drums for me then triggers the arrangement, like triggers the horn stabs or any brass or any like moments in the song, because instinctively I'm pushing here and doing stuff that I think, oh, that'd be cool. That's the way my brain works. And probably the first thing I will do after roughing out the chord chart or putting some chords on keyboard or whatever, or acoustic guitar is I will play the drum part as it's going to be. Maybe I'll then go back to it when I realize that wasn't quite the arrangement, or I need to change things there. But pretty much from the word go, the drums are as they're going to be. And then I'm just filling in the gaps.
Yeah.
Things do change, but I've got the drums from beat 1, bar 1 to the end of the song done.
Don't you think it's so much easier writing with people though? It's just so much more.
Absolutely.
Just
I am not a lyricist either. My lyrics are they're like Paul's. They're 2-year-olds. They're horrendous.
What?
No, you said you got the attention span of a 2-year-old. My lyrics are those of a 2-year-old. They're terrible. It's every possible rhyming couplet cliche you can think of. That's where I go lyrically. It's
another
terrible.
skill. It's another skill though, isn't it? Go on, Jack. Your turn.
It's good. Cool question, Hank. I work in a studio here with Mark, and we do a lot of chart pop. So that's where I'm going to speak from that, and seeing how that gets made here is. Well,
let's be a little bit more. It's a little bit. It's like
you said some songwriting strategies or processes you've developed. So the strategy in here is always a team built effort. Any pop music you hear in the top 10, essentially, it's a team effort. Like James was saying, collaboration. That's one thing that maybe I think people may not know, is that they put a lot of pressure on themselves. Like, I've got to be the best producer. I've got to be the best writer, the best performer, the best drummer. When really at this end of the game, if you want to be here doing this, because at the end of it, the problem is that you don't actually have a lot of control over the creation. You have to just work your little bit of niche. We're all in it. It's so diversified. So often in the room, there'll be a lyric guy, there'll be a music guy, there'll be a guy at the computer, and there might even be a vibe guy. We have a lot of guys who come in just for the vibe, and they're cool. Like I'm wearing a Decathlon waterproof. That means that they'll need to bring in a vibe guy if I'm writing with Little Mix, because they need to offset my lameness with someone wearing like a pink tutu and a Starbucks. But that I don't we all get on really well because we know that it's that hocus pocus potion of everyone in the room. And that also means, here's a really shrewd point, is that everyone brings their own team of pit bulls, I call it. So everyone has their own manager, their own publisher. And that means that if you've got 5, 8 people involved in a song, you've got not only 8 people, and you'll think, oh, that's a bit shit, you've got to share all the money. But I found that leads to the song doing better, because there are 8 teams of people trying to get that song listened to. And that seems to be the main difference people don't know, is that they're like, oh, these songs written by loads of people. It's because you've heard it, because there are a huge amount of people working that song.
Yeah.
And so
and then subscribe to Masterclass?
No.
So Masterclass is a beautifully shot video tutorial platform. I mean, it's stunning. It's cinema. It's cinema levels of cinematography. It's beautifully shot, and they've done some really good ones. Dead Mouse, I watched that one, and the Armin van Buuren one was really good. But the one I got the most out of was watching the Timbaland one. And basically, his thing about having his team of 3 guys around him, he's kind of putting beats together, and I hate the word beats because it instantly it puts in a certain vibe, or it means
it's a guy. He's a beat guy. He's a beat guy.
But see, for me, it's all about grooves. It's about patterns. It's about, when someone says, "Oh, I do beats," I actually think, right, you're writing patterns. You're sequencing up percussion sounds and stuff. Beats are cheap, nasty headphones in my world. Anyway, but his thing is, he's got guys feeding him ideas and stuff. The stuff that sticks is great. It's collaboration on a kind of 3-4-way approach. He's got his Pro Tools guy at the front. He's got his 2 guys feeding him great ideas, and he's then cherry picking and making the best, and just making these amazing grooves and patterns that some top liner will come in and just, again, someone will come in and write a melody on top. They're not thinking of the melody at that point. They're just coming up with a vibe, a feeling, a groove.
Yeah.
So if you do subscribe, that's one well worth checking out, the Timbaland Masterclass. It's not that long as well by comparison to some of them.
Cool. Yeah, I think that they're beautifully shot. Right, I've been tempted by it. The other weird thing I say is probably people don't. Normally, it's a 2-day process. So the artist comes in for 2 days. Seems to be pretty standard over the last few years I've been here. And you got that first day because you said like strategies for writing the song. Always the first half of the day is chatting, getting to know each other, chilling out. Not like we don't even think about it. You know, there's no like, let's get going. That's just so important, isn't it? Like feeling at home, feeling comfortable that you can share that stuff. And then I think the 2 songs they either have a track in mind, because that seems to be coming back, like writing over loops, tracks seems to be a thing. And then the other thing I'd say is we never go further in that first day's writing or the second day. If we'll try get 2 songs in 2 days, we'll never really go further than the aim is to get the finished vocal for us, because we know that they'll probably never come back.
Yeah.
Like if we've got James Arthur, he's not going to come back. We're not going to go, oh mate, you missed. Can we get the middle 8 again? He's gone. He's in somewhere else. So we work. So a lot of we won't go further than an 808 kick, snare, and either guitar or piano. And then we're working on getting all the vocal stacks we can. And so it'll probably be, Hank, you'd probably be shocked. You'd think, oh, there's not much to that, but we put all the effort into the vocal. And then we'll probably wait a week with fresh ears, come back to it, and then approach the production after we've got loads of emails from A&R people saying, oh, this is where we think it should go from here. And we kind of color it in the way people want it.
That's a great idea.
Interesting.
So that's it, yeah.
It is funny that various things we talked about in the, for those of you out there in YouTube land, we normally get together sort of 15, 20 minutes before we go live to have a quick chat, and we try and save the good stuff to not shoot our load off air, as it were. But the funny thing was, we were talking about people who you admire musically, but you know full well you couldn't work in a band or an environment with, because as human beings, you know, they're a failure. We've all got those people. You do have to work with people. You do have to be personable. I mean, say from my point of view as a quote unquote producer, I would like to think that's most of what I bring to the party is not the tech. It's about getting the person in the vibe, getting the person in the zone so they can do what they do. If that means we sit there and we chat and we go out for a cigarette, not that I smoke, but they go out for a cigarette or whatever they need to do, or order Starbucks or get the pizza in, whatever, then that's what we do to get in the zone.
Yeah.
It's about the vibe. It's about that. Because this bit, the tech, can be worked on till 3, 4 in the morning. I don't know many singers who can keep going that long. Not keep banging out grade A performances. You normally get, so I normally think if I've got 3 or 4 takes of a song, I've got it in that. It's not going to get any better.
Yeah.
And you're sharing it. You know, you've got to be nice. I want to share this. If you like someone, you're not going to share something with. I'm not going to share my Red Bull with someone I don't like. I'm not going to share my song. I'm not going to share. It's really important.
Your musical soul.
Because you're not adversarial at all.
Yeah, it shouldn't be. But I've been in plenty of studios where there's a level of competition almost. And that's not healthy.
Yeah.
Because you want to be in a place where you can put an idea out there, and then if everyone goes, nah, maybe that's not the right one for this song, or someone goes, that's shit, there's not this air of, oh, he told me my idea was shit. You know, that's not cool.
Hank, thanks so much and you're right, James. I was going to say a great guy to watch if you're on Instagram, Hank, for songwriting things. I think at the moment it's a guy called Dan Wilson, and I don't know if you know, but he was the lead singer in a band called Semisonic years ago.
Yeah.
Secret Smile and Closing Time. But he went on to be a very successful. He's one of the top guys in LA, and he's just done a box of cards. Good Christmas present, actually. A bit like the Eno cards.
Oh
yeah. But for songwriting, and he's got loads of. I'm not normally into that stuff, but very sage words of advice that allowed me to just chill out. And one thing I've realized is the less I do, the less I try to do everything, the things get better. So Hank, that's the problem, right? You're staring at the screen going, oh, and then I've got to learn how to do that and do that. But break it up or get a friend, and share it. Share it. It's better to have the song done and feel good and have more people involved than have an unfinished masterpiece.
Yeah, definitely.
At this point, I'd like to say, I think Tim's joining us. And Tim, I think you win the award for being the furthest.
Do you know what? We don't normally get people from Australia because the time difference. I don't know what time it is, man.
It's about 12 hours. So that's about 8 in the morning.
You've been to Australia, chaps?
I haven't, no. You must have been loads of times.
I've been a couple of times, yeah.
I have an Australia story, and it's one of the saddest cruise ship stories of my life.
Go on.
I was on a world cruise with P&O, and we were docking. We were in the band. We were docking in Sydney for an overnight. So they have what's called a black night, where basically there's no shows because everyone goes ashore. It's Sydney. Why wouldn't you? And I might have been caught in a compromising position with a passenger on the back deck.
Docking on black night.
What was his name?
Her name, at least, and that's all you're going to get. And because they couldn't fire me because being the only drummer and the MD on board, they couldn't get rid of me. But I was given 4 days of import manning, which basically means you can't get off. So on a black night in Sydney, where everybody else is ashore, I was on the ship.
You must have been a naughty boy.
The thing is, if I was in charge of you, I'd have just got an SR16 in, mate, and chucked you off the side.
Australia is just massive.
Yeah.
That was the mad thing. Is just touring around there was unbelievable.
Who are you touring with on those tours?
I did 2 with Bay and 2 with James. Yeah, 2 with James Bay back in the day.
Nice.
Cool.
And we go to it was it's so far away, man. Like, but I know, but when you're there and New Zealand, you're like, we're going to New Zealand. I thought it was like the Isle of Wight. You're like, no, that's another 4 hours.
Yeah. And on a cruise ship, it's more than 4 hours.
I'll go on.
Oh, bet. On a cruise ship.
Jack, how sick are you of this? How sick are you of that?
I know. It's been a while though. It's funny how it's been a while enough with James that we have young artists come in here.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh yeah, like I remember my older brother listened to that.
Wow.
How old at that moment?
Wow.
Yeah, and it's the same. Like I played with you've said before, like all the boy band at 5 and stuff like that, and they don't even know. I can't even make jokes about 5 or so good Dexter. They're like, was she prime minister or something? I'm like, I don't know.
Sophie Ellis' claim to fame is that her mum was Janet Ellis.
Yeah,
or it's Janet Ellis, not was, but is still Janet Ellis, and was I have to admit a bit of a schoolboy crush.
Oh, it's gorgeous. Sophie was really gorgeous as well.
Yeah, it's pretty
back in the day.
So can I share my screen?
Yes, please do.
Are we going to see the merch?
Huh? We're going to see.
Just
no,
the merch.
We should look at the merch.
Do it at sales, right?
Honestly, 10,000. That is wicked.
Right, I want to know, Jack, what's going on? What is that about?
Are you in Blackadder?
What is
right? Without the beard, this is the closest I've ever got to a lookalike. My mate sent me this and went, I found you.
Is that not you? Is that not you?
No.
I nearly put that up.
I thought that was you.
I nearly put that up as the thumbnail on the post, but I thought
Isn't it weird? He's got the same little kind of recessed chin and everything.
So weird.
That's why I got the
That's how I
beard. It makes me look like I've got a jaw.
That's how I remember you without a beard.
Isn't it weird?
Without the wig. Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't have. I was thinking of getting because I'm doing more of this video stuff, but it's hard, isn't it? I've never had photographs taken of myself. Have you done it?
I've probably got, at least reasonably up close drumming pictures of me playing on a million different gigs. But
It's because I never had Instagram or Facebook when I was doing any of the touring. I've only got it in the last 2 years. Because I just didn't feel comfortable. I wanted to be at odds to all the guys that are around. I thought most of them were doing it just for Instagram, so I was like, I'm not doing that. But I suppose I should have done it. Looking back now, but I didn't understand it because to me, the phones and Instagram was what was killing what I loved in front of me. I was watching this thing that I loved and I was prepared to give my life to just change over time, and that all symbolized it. So I was like, nah, I'm not doing any of it, and I'm still pretty slow to it.
I love the phrase that I heard, or that I've heard a few times from various people, that they call them blue face gigs, where everyone's like this on their phone and everyone's got a blue face from their screen.
Oh yeah.
And I tell you, the grim bit, if you've got that Hold Back the River, you got that one song that you know people have come to see.
Yeah.
Phones go up. Yeah.
There we go. And it's like a collective sigh. But it happens for anyone now. Like if you went and saw Spandau Ballet and they do Gold, you know, everyone's going to go, oh, get their phone out. But thankfully, they're not doing it anymore. So that's cool.
God, that's shocking.
I mean, they're gigging. I mean, I hear people are optimistic, but I think I'm worried a lot of people are holding their breath and they don't realize how long they're going to have to hold their breath for.
Well,
Yeah,
I don't think. I mean, there are a few gigs taking place now. There are a few. I mean, there's comedy gigs taking place. Jen's actually got me tickets for Bill Bailey in January, which should be quite interesting because they are doing socially distant tickets, etc., etc. It's all staggered doors and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, but the bottom line, man, that's a comedian can take that hit because you just got him in the front of house.
Yeah.
Or the rumblings in here, it's not happening in next year.
No.
All the festivals.
Insurance purposes alone, no one will insure an entire tour for COVID.
Studio Rats is getting the scoop right here. I'm telling you, none of those festivals in 2021 are happening.
Yeah.
None of them.
Wow.
But they have to because they want to keep people interested in the story. But it can't happen.
Yeah.
Until we all get the shot in the arm times 2.
Yeah. And even how are they going to do it? Glastonbury, most of any of the tours, they're coming in through Europe, often on a tour based around it. None of that's there. And then with Brexit in there as well. Oof. And then on a local level, how's it with the weddings? But is there anyone?
I spoke to my old band leading mate yesterday. He's actually had 3 bookings this month for next summer. So it's starting to happen on the back of the fact that with a bit of luck, by end of spring-ish next year, enough people will have had the vaccine that things will start to open up to the point where you can have more than 30 people to a wedding again.
Right.
Because any of my mates on the function scene have not worked since February, March time.
Yeah.
And it's, that's an 18-month.
But it's going to be that again. That's what I'm saying to people. They're holding their breath.
Yeah. It will
Greetings
be
from Prague. Pez, what? You're getting... This is what happens when you get to 10K. We've got all these people in it now.
Yeah, it's good, isn't it? I mean, Australia, Prague. Where's everyone from? I know there's quite a lot of Michael's in the Bay Area. Mike Hayton's in. Where's the rugby stadium? Huge place, Twickenham. Twickers, yeah. Where's everyone from? Quick shout out. Florian's in from Barcelona via Germany somewhere. I'm not sure where. USA's in lockdown again.
Feel free. I will tell the truth about anything.
Oh yeah, so true. Yeah. Hey, while we're waiting for that, has anyone seen the new earpad Max, whatever they're called? The iPod, you know the headphones, the Apple headphones.
I heard someone call it the Apple Bra.
No.
Yeah. Have you seen it, mate? Oh, mate, they got Apple have got these new.
You see, I'm holding my Apple Pencil like I'm smart.
Yeah.
Mate, that wasn't like you were smart.
Oh, matron.
Oh yeah, no, they're awesome. They're like, but they're 550 quid.
All right, I'm getting on there. Let's do a collective Google.
Yeah, we need to get some. I want the black and grey ones. So
Apple.
The ones that I'd quite like are any Formula One fans amongst us other than me?
AirPods Max.
that's the job. They're the ones.
Do anyone follow? Any of you guys follow Formula One other than me?
No.
Okay, fair enough. Red Bull are currently sponsored, or Red Bull are supporting a headphone company called Iris, and you have to check out the Iris app. I think I can't remember what it's called off the top of my head. It is called. Where is it? It's called Iris.
Oh, they do look buff, don't they?
They do look good. Thing is, a bald man like myself looks terrible with a pair of headphones on. So I'm just trying to find something that's they might work on me.
I think they
look right on my bald head.
They look good. It's hard, though, isn't it? What? We're on a studio podcast. I love dorky shit like this.
Yeah.
What headphones are you rocking with?
Your
main? If you're gonna make a mix on the go, you're on the plane. Oh, DT7sevs. And they're the HD25s, are they?
They are the ATH M60Xs.
Oh, so they're the Audio Technica versions of the 80s. So they're small.
Yes.
I'm a MH70s Audio Technica.
I've got the MH70s in there because they're better for being on drums and stuff, and I've got the MH50s for everybody else because
I did the same thing. They're not having it.
But those are really good for production because
I'm always worried I can't hear the difference. I had it with in-ear monitors. I paid for the full whack UE18s, and I was like, yeah.
Oh, really?
I don't think I'm really bad at audiophile stuff. I'm probably in the wrong business then, aren't I?
No, these are awesome. Right. These are amazing. They're the oh god, not Ultimate Ears. The
JH.
No. Oh god, what are they called? I've forgotten. I'll be shocked.
Oh, the split company. Yeah, they went off. When they had my husband and wife, and they.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Paul, with the DTs.
ACS.
Oh right.
ACS. Oh yeah. My earplugs are ACS.
Yeah, they're awesome. It's the triple driver ones as well because I know the owner of the company, and many moons ago I swapped a copy of Sibelius for
on the street corner.
I think it was actually on a trade show floor. Yeah.
Okay, because I love asking you good questions because I generally watch all the videos. Is there what's on your master bus at the moment?
It hasn't.
I've got a new toy. I've got a new toy.
Oh yeah, you want to talk about this?
And guys, anyone watching Master Bus? I don't know if people are up to it, but what you put on your stereo fader at the end.
Stereo bus, two bus, your stereo outputs, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
I've been making some videos this week for the glorious people at McDSP, Colin and the rather crazy team, and they do a thing called the MC3, which is a multi-band compressor for the APB units.
Oh. But how many of them can you run in the 16?
Okay, so it in full stereo mode, it eats up 6 APB processors. So if you've got a 16, I mean, I actually managed to do a whole mix and I used 2 of them. I used one on the drum bus and one on the master bus, and the drums through that just sounded amazing. But I then put it on the master bus and went.
I've got to be honest. I've got to be honest. I never use a multi-band compressor.
Nor do I. But I tried this, and it does something magical. It is so good.
Oh, great! Yeah, I mean the APB stuff's great. It's really good.
yes, the price of admission is an APB hardware unit, but
are you
really
do you
good.
put a lot of things on, because that's one of the things I've learned working in here, is that a lot of people and anyone out there, there's all the guys in here, they're running a lot of stuff on their master bus.
I don't get it. I don't understand.
Paul, do you want to know some of the stuff? Well, we're putting loads on there, mate.
I've
probably got 3 processors on my stereo bus.
2. I'm 2.
But it's one of those. Ozone can't be one of them, because Ozone has 9 things in it.
No. I just think so. So this is Jack. This is pre-mastering engineer.
Yeah.
So and do you print with all this stuff on it before it goes to the mastering engineer?
Yeah. When I send the stems, I send 2 files.
Right.
So, 3 if Mark's mixed it. Yeah. But even when I send it to a mixer, we send it with some master bus processing on as well.
Right.
And we, in all honesty, we didn't for a while, but we had about a couple of years ago, we were working with someone, and it just helps, because it's really, we put so much on, and all the guys coming in. Just a quick rundown, like, of what normally will be on there. There'll be normally at least some form of tape saturation, like the ATR one, the 102, and then there'll be a kind of SSL style compressor, and then they'll kind of do a couple of those, but it'll all be doing tiny moves, like taking off at half a dB,
nothing slamming.
Yeah, but they'll do, honestly, man, like how they'll just keep rinse and repeat. So you could have 8 on there before you get to any form of and then every time they compress, they'll brighten it with like a Manly Massive Passive or something, or the Marg thing.
Yeah.
And then that's what I've just been shocked about. And I keep hearing this process, and maybe anyone out there, one thing I've learned is to have more plugins doing a lot less.
Yeah.
That's one thing I picked up from the guys in here, some of the producers. And then at the end, I'm using my secret sauce at the moment is that Elevate, the sweet newfangled audio.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I don't know that.
They've got it's like a multi-band, but with all points of human hearing or something. Oh God, I should know about it. I don't even know what it does. I just turn it on, and it's a multi-band, but with 38 bands. So it's like really cool. And then like little bit of dirt in there, a bit of OTT pops up a lot. Have you used OTT?
No.
Go get it. I think it's free. It's free. It's basically like and when you hear it, I think you'll hear the sound. If you're going for a modern sound anywhere out there, it's free. I'm pretty sure. I'll put it. Let me have a look. OTT.
He's going in.
There we are. Yeah, by X-Firm Records. Everyone go grab it. OTT, put it on your master bus, and it's a bit like the Oxford Inflator, but for free. And every lad is on it. Yeah, that and RC20. That's the #1 plugin of the year, I'd say.
What's the RC20?
RC20 is by XLN Audio, like Addictive Drums and stuff.
Yeah.
And I'd say everything you're hearing on Splice, and that modern sound is RC20. So it's actually a modular plugin that's got noise, wow and flutter, so like tape, lo-fi stuff, distortion, a reverb, magnetic noises. It's like a lo-fi plugin, but it's you'll hear it on everything, man. You can get so much from it. That's my tip. So, any tips for me? Any favorite plugins at the moment you're thinking?
Well, Michael has suggested BX Masterdesk, which is awesome.
I just got the Plugin Alliance stuff, and it's crazy. That black box. Woo!
Black box is great. I have to admit, though, I've heard black box, I get the plugin versus the real thing.
Oh.
And the real thing is just
I never get
so good.
Yeah.
And Pez, when you're talking about the headphones, I can't, and I'm sure James will back me up. Those Audio Technica M50s, I think they're worth it. They're not crazy money. What are they?
Not even that, are they? About
89 quid or something.
Yeah.
I think they're a great buy. You see them everywhere, man. So, but because I remember the K92s, I used to sell them in Andertons, and they are a bit dodgy, mate. Get yourself some new ones. Chase Bliss gear.
I always try to find headphones that were brass player proof, and Paul knows the brass player in question that I had to make.
Jack knows the brass player in question.
Did I shout at him?
No,
trumpets.
Strumpet.
Oh, right. No, yeah, I do it. Yeah, we know exactly. Oh, we all know what we're talking about.
No, she's popped 4 pairs of headphones here.
She's a liability.
I mean, she is clinically deaf, I think.
What an extraordinary character.
Oh dear! No, we're not going to assassinate any of our friends, colleagues, or otherwise.
Moroglu, how you doing, man? What my favourite Chase Bliss stuff? I'm waiting for the automaton. I've put the money down. Have you seen that, Drew? I've done it. I sold my King of Tone. I sold.
King of Tone? Did you sell it for more than you bought it for?
Oh yeah.
That's the best thing about it's crazy.
I'm saying it. I told you I'd tell the truth. 480 smackers.
How much you buy it for? 300.
Oh, I bought it for the price, pretty much back in the day. Yeah. Less than that.
Speaking of stuff we've put deposits on, it's on its way, Paul.
Oh, is it? Oh, nice one. Oh, good.
If it's here for when I come and see you next time, I'll bring it with me. Of course, I will. I have ordered a Neural DSP Quad Cortex.
This is the big buzzword at Andertons. This is the big buzzword at the moment.
Yeah.
Because if anyone doesn't know, I do videos for the dorky synths channel, but I hear the mumblings of the guitar channel, and that's the hot shit.
It is. Yeah. I mean, I've had I actually phoned. I bought it for an alternative guitar reseller. I know, unbelievable.
Lee's struggling. He needs the money, man.
It must have been tough for him selling all that guitar gear during COVID.
Yes, the vast amounts of guitar and high tech gear that everyone seems to have sold during the lockdown. But no, I've ordered a Quad Cortex, and it's apparently arriving in the next couple of weeks.
Nice, that's great.
I am very excited. I think it actually might retire my 11 rack. That's how excited I am about it.
By all accounts, I love the look of it. I love the form factor as well. Just I haven't played it yet. Looks cool.
Hold on a second. Back to the automaton.
You got to try it, man. I tried it.
Is this the one?
It's with the moving faders.
Yeah, but it's serious. So they've done the reverb.
Mm-hmm.
They've done the Lexicon 224, haven't they?
I'm not getting the reverb because the reverb's like more money. That's like 900 squid.
It's crazy money, yeah, for a guitar pedal.
And I don't. But the drive pedal, because what it's just all encompassing. It takes what I normally have 3 things, because normally I plug the King of Tone in and someone goes, yeah, but I'd love a bit more treble. So then I have to plug in an EQ, and then I'd love a bit of fuzz, and then to get and all working together. And the automaton has EQ, post, pre, fuzz, and all the gain in one. For the studio guys, I can justify it to myself, especially when I sold my other drive pedals. When I can fund that. And then for gigging as well. If I ever did a gig with MIDI, that's the cool thing with the Chase Bliss and that ribbon app I've got. That I'm starting to realize that yes, they're all. And as a keyboard player, I'm quite comfortable with MIDI stuff. It's all MIDI controllable. And the other one I think everyone should check out is the Chase Bliss Mood. Haven't tried all of them. They've got the blooper and things like that. But really, I think the Mood's amazing.
I just think it's a little bit... Is that the pink one? Is that the pink one that you've got?
Mate,
I
used it on everything.
I've actually used it on 2 recent tracks that you can go check out on Spotify if you want.
Go on then, what are they?
I'd say Bastille... On their latest EP, there's 2 One-Eyed Jack sessions, and I'd say it's probably 80% Mood.
Oh, nice.
Wow.
When you have a listen, it's just all like... Sounds a bit like loads of little... I mean, it sounds impressive, right? But it's that kind of
You're selling it, mate.
that kind of Sharky and George style bullshit that you hear in the left and right speakers.
Yeah.
The kids love it. And if you want to do that, get yourself a mood. But if you want a plugin that does it, you want to get what's it called? Porthole by Output.
Output
Yes.
stuff.
The output stuff's amazing. In
What's
fact,
it called?
all of the output stuff.
Yeah.
Portal, not porthole. Well, I'm from Weymouth. You got a porthole? Yeah,
No,
but
the output stuff is incredible. I mean, I've got Rev, Breathe. Is it called Breathe?
it's good shit, man. I've got the desk as well. I've got an Output desk.
It's nice. It's nice stuff.
Oh, you got that, did you? Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's because I've got the 88 key
Yeah,
keyboard
yeah.
underneath. Really
That
good.
Really good. I thought they looked really good when they released that. It's a bit of a I like that. Like that a lot.
Fascinating company. They make good shit.
Yeah.
But who imagined that a plug-in synth effects company would then come out with a piece of really good hardware, as in the desk with
I've even got the little side wooden cabinet. They do like a little side thing. I got sold on that as well. Love
really
it.
Nice.
Hank, you're right. Josh Smith sold me on it too, but it doesn't quite sound the same when I play it.
God, Josh Smith, what a player. Just
And
good.
observation on the Arturia Polybrute. I don't know. It doesn't get because I do the synth stuff.
What have I got over here? Hang on a second. I've got a million different Arturia.
We're in that law of diminishing returns on the synth side. I think what's weird is it's dirty word, and I don't get.
I can't believe
man, I'm going to say it. Behringer are making the best synths at the moment, and I mean the best because in a way they've really modelled. They just ripped off the old stuff, so it's got all of that fatness and old school shitness that you want from a vintage keyboard.
Yeah.
But I bought it new with a warranty
for 200 and something quid.
Man, they're doing the Oberheim, man.
Yeah,
yeah.
And my favorite synth of the last. There's two. One for money, which is the UDO Super 6. If anyone's into synths, there's a guy down in Bristol. It's a digital thing, but it's like a new world. It's UDO Super 6. If you're into synth, but for traditional sounds, that Behringer Poly D, the Pauly Drew. It's amazing. It's got Juno chorus in it. It sounds like better than my Juno, but then I can have it's a legit fat Moog at the same time for
awesome.
400 quid.
Oh, awesome.
Anyone should go buy that.
I'm not a synth guy in any way, shape, or form, but I am doing my best to learn. I'm experimenting. I'm getting there. I've bought some patch cables and I've made some patch to jack cables so I can run effects pedals in as well.
Oh, cool!
That's
yeah,
fun.
the filters are good, aren't they?
That's fun. So I've got a micro brute, which is the little tiny one, very very cool. I've got a the mini brute too, which is very cool, and I've got the drum brute impact, the drum machine.
Yeah,
and I tell you what, it is, and I'm not a drum machine guy. That is one of the coolest drum machines I've ever played with. It's very very cool and just sounds really good and groovy. It doesn't sound like someone's put a Bontempi drum machine on.
Mate, they're all fat. All of those, that brute factor and the metalizer thing is real. They're fresh.
Yeah, it does something very very cool.
Yeah.
It's like having decapitator built in. Sorry, Paul.
Yeah. No. It's all right. It's all good. It's all good. Right. Shall I show you the?
Yeah. Show us the merch.
Shall I show you the merch?
Oh, yeah, go on.
Show you the merch. I'm going to show the merch. Oh, actually, no. What am I doing? Let's do that. Hold on. Yeah.
Don't it feel nerve-wracking with a screen share? Does it?
Tell me when you can see it.
They can. Oh, look at that! Look
at that.
What a mate.
So that's on the old t-shirts.
That's a lovely t-shirt.
Oh, thanks, mate. Yeah. And
No, but it's a good choice of
a fat guy. Oh, fat bloke.
That's nice. Make us feel included.
Who's the guy on the? It looks like Alex Brooker.
Hoodies.
Mate, if you give me, you don't have to give me. I'll get the hat and I'll wear it all the time.
Oh, mate, yeah, you get the hat. Yeah, we got the hat.
I'm going to get the hoodie.
We got the t-shirts. We got. Do you know
How
what I mean?
fun! That's so cool, man.
Yeah, it's good, isn't it? And so it's as soon as you reach 10,000, I'm going to come off now.
I didn't know that.
Oh no!
Oh, there it goes.
Hey, where's Jack gone?
Oh, hang on. Well,
Jack's
I
back.
hit
There he-
remove at the same time as you hit
Good
remove.
idea. Yeah, once you reach 10,000 subscribers, you can have merch on your site. And I was just like, I was having too much fun with the iPad. And
Doesn't this feel? Isn't it funny that we have to go all the way like full circle to realize that this is the best tool? For that.
Yeah.
Just makes you creative. And I use it when I use the Sidecar because I go in there to record piano, and with the thing, I've just got my full Logic screen with the pen.
That's great. Of course, that is a great idea.
Yeah, it's not like because the remote, however fully featured, just feels like I feel like an idiot.
Because I've got a complete duplicate station. I've got my Pro Tools screen and keyboard here, and I've got another screen and keyboard in there for drum.
Yeah.
So I've got everything.
Here's I wanted to ask you this earlier. Have you had an experience of or know anyone? Because I was saying about the noise when we were talking about the M1 chips.
Yeah.
Have you any experience of like having a machine room and how you run that stuff? Is it just all on cables, or have you done any wireless stuff? And especially with this new USB-C stuff that seems to be so expensive for a cable.
Yeah.
Have you had any thoughts? Do you keep your machines in the same room, or?
Well, the exciting thing at the moment, and I'm going to say exciting because I keep thinking I'm finding a house and then something conspires against me. But we are moving house, which means that I'll be moving studio. And I know I've said this several times, but now even my wife agrees it's time for us to move house. And when she's decided that's the important thing, we're moving.
Yeah.
And I am currently well into the designs of Studio 3.0. So I know what I want. I know how I want it laid out roughly. I've got a company involved who are going to design it and who are going to actually do all the heavy maths and the acoustics and all that sort of stuff. All I have to do is basically design what I want and, of course, pay for it. But I'm going to have a machine cupboard, like a rack cupboard for the noisy stuff. And by that, I mean the PC, the switching system, my digital control system, and my network gear, because a switch, a silent switch, is a bloody expensive thing. When you think you can pick up a Cisco 32-way switch for about 100 quid and then listen to it whine all the way through every session. So if you're running a any kind of Dante network, you need a decent switch, which is the most boring thing you will ever buy in a studio. But my God, they are noisy.
James, that's where I get a bit lost. I've been looking at it the last few days, and it's like I don't as I use Mac, but how does everything run in Ethernet? Basically, can you find a device that kind of Ethernets it to where you are? But then how do my wireless keyboard and stuff work if I've got the computer in another room?
Right. So what I would do in that, the answer on wireless, I don't know, because none of my kit's wireless.
Well, that's a good point. Yeah.
I've bought a rack mounted USB 3 patch hub, effectively. But it's got about, I think it's 48 USB ports in a rack.
What?
Very, very cool piece of kit. And then that's one cable. But of course, you could, if you wanted to, if we're talking machine room around an entire facility, you can then convert USB to Ethernet if you need to, and run a dedicated cable in, or the smart money would put it onto a USB 3 optical cable, which is a couple of 300 quid, but it's not gonna bottleneck you or anything like that at any point. You're gonna have no problems at all.
USB 3 optical. So what? Optical in my little pea brain only is ADAT. That's not everything.
Yeah, no, it's beyond that now.
It's the glass fiber cable.
Yeah, it's still.
Does it look like a Cat5 or does it look like a USB cable?
It looks like a Toslink cable with USBs on either end.
Oh, right.
cable, but it's USB. You can get you can get optical Thunderbolt cables as well, but they are expensive.
So expensive.
Because I got an idea I just freaking hate the noise, and I hate having to go in there. If I could I can't cut a vocal in here, man, because if I can hear the computer all the time.
Yeah,
I
but
can hear it.
When you get your M1 chip, you'll be all fine.
Yeah, you're right. So M1 can cure it all.
And you can have
Hank-
dance, piano, and calliope till the cows come home. Oh, different
Hank,
M1. Sorry.
Hank, you're so right about the t-shirts, but I'm guessing that Paul Drew is a discerning man, and he's already checked this out.
It's the softest cotton. Do you know what? I don't even know, mate. To be honest, I haven't ordered one yet. I'm waiting, and I'm waiting to get some through. But I just did the designs, and they instantly go up. So I'm hoping. They say it's all like nice quality soft cotton. So
Egyptian cotton, or
I will say that pedal show merch is always very comfortable, and Lee Anderton is a discerning merch buyer.
Oh,
I know that.
Right. I wonder where he gets his from. You have to find that out for.
Yeah, but it's really good. It's whatever they have, because I have to wear it when I do their stuff.
Yeah.
And it's cool. Got to wear the uniform.
Nice. So, have you got any more questions before?
Wait, we're doing NAMM, man.
It's like NAMM online.
No, we're doing NAMM.
Which means
not next year, not.
Oh no, but Andertons are doing their own NAMM, mate.
What do you mean?
Oh,
hello.
Oh.
Exclusive time.
Do you think Lee Anderton is just going to let NAMM disappear?
Go on.
So we're just going to do NAMM in Guildford.
That is genius.
So if you want to come to NAMM, you two should just come along.
We'll come to Guildford. Yeah, I can.
We're not allowed to use the word NAMM.
Of course,
it was going to be the Nammies, or like, I don't know, Namadam. But, yeah. But no, he's a really. I love Lee's just amazing. That he's like, well, we can't get on the plane. He's like, well, just bring the product to us, and then we'll do it. Any new shit, because they're gonna have new shit. So hopefully you do it.
Yeah, that's.
I don't know all the details, but
that is proper forward thinking.
It is one of my highlights of the year. I know it sounds so sad, but I really do love getting on a plane and coming over to California in January and not freezing my you-know-what off for a week.
Isn't it? It's a nice treat, man.
Oh, I love NAMM.
Yeah.
It's going to be so missed. It's going to be so missed.
Yeah.
I always buy the merch. I buy 2 NAMM t-shirts every year, a short sleeve and a long sleeve, and I'm that sad. I've got them going back to 2000 and I think my first NAMM was 2007.
Wow, that's cool. I love all the shit chat. I love the shit products. I like the ones where I'm like, how has that guy brought his family along and this is the best he has to offer? I'm like, when you go around the woodwind section and there's a guy and there's like 4 kids all like just sharing one biscuit because they got no money, and their dad's like tried a rhinestone saxophone holder, and you're like,
it is true. There's some mental stuff, isn't there?
I would love to just do an alternative comedy version of NAMM every year.
My
just
favorite
shit
bit of NAMM is Hawley downstairs.
Is that
the Tonewoods? The
Tonewoods and acoustic guitars and all the random stuff. I'll give it a break, Michael.
Oh, Michael, let's get him around. Have we got the applause?
I wasn't even born in 75.
Wow.
Yeah, and that's where I was always confused by Strymon. It made me think less of them as a brand because they would go for Hawley.
Because it's cheaper.
And I'm like, you thrifty bugger. You're charging loads for those pedals and you can't even swing for a bit of upstairs.
You do find some really cool stuff down there, though. You find some really interesting things.
And
that
Hotone and stuff.
That MIDI mic thing that I got last year was amazing.
Did you actually do anything with that?
Yeah, I got one. It's awesome.
Oh, right.
What's a MIDI mic?
What's it called? It is basically, it's a mic. It's a USB microphone that you can beatbox into, and and it will trigger drum samples or chords.
Oh, I've seen that. I've seen Jamie Liddell doing something like that.
Really cool. I've got one, and it's awesome. It's one of those things you go, I will never use this, and you go, hang on, I wonder if I could just that tune that you've got in your head go da, 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 and it notates it for you. You go, cool. As a non-keyboard player who can go play some chords,
Paul, like this, the other day I was having a meeting with Lee Anderson about this NAMM thing, and they were saying all the different products that I could do videos on. And he's like, oh, F that. He's like, you're not doing any videos on audio interfaces or mics, are you? Like, no one watches. I'm like, mate, they're all my videos. He's like, what do you talk about? I was like, yeah, I know. I don't know what I talk about. Because at NAMM, it's the toughest gig, high tech, because they're like, oh, yeah, it's just a box. And this is what the box does. And
I reckon Lee's not interested because that's not his thing, and he doesn't understand it.
I know. Whereas I'm like,
he's a guitar. He's like guitar, into a pedal, into an amp.
Mate, I wish, but that's why I love I love watching guitar videos, and I also wish that I could do guitar videos because, in the best way, I think you get a lot. They're the best things for the internet because when someone plays an A chord or an E chord, like you kind of instantly know. It's like a litmus paper test, isn't it? And everyone does the same thing. Yeah. I wish there was a uniform test, like benchmarks for tech reviews. You don't really have anything for that. In synths, I always do a filter sweep. That's like the one thing.
Yeah, that's the important bit.
And everyone's like.
Right, the thing is, though, the thing I was looking forward to about this NAMM was being able to go without an agenda, without someone else enforcing our agenda.
Right.
To be able to go and say, right, let's do an interview with so-and-so and actually be, and get stuff out on the day of the show. Do some live stuff, do some Facebook live stuff, do some YouTube live stuff.
Sonic State were well good at that. Lad is the best at that.
Sonic State are great at it because they've got a team editing as well. It's not just them.
And they're in the hall. Yeah. Where we F up, we got to go back to I don't do it, but the guys seeing it's a lot of work. I can't believe it. I love getting to speak to you guys, and
I feel a couple of years ago we were doing it on the show floor, and I had Rex will testify to this. He was in the media center locked down with my laptop waiting for it to upload because the problem that everyone has at NAMM is download speed is great, upload speed is shocking.
They need to
I was leaving stuff overnight, uploading. A 15-minute video would take 7 hours to upload.
Those Sonic State boys, you just go. They went over to Target and just bought the 4G dongles, like 5G dongles, like pay as you go, and they had like full 4G speeds, and they just buy the pay as you go dongles and smash it in there. Ooh, I love all this inside stuff.
Yeah, no. I was really looking forward to doing some on-floor videos again.
It's a bit like Anchorman with the news teams. They're like Spanish 5 News, and like everyone's trying to get the content out quickly. I quite like it.
But what I want to do is I want to do this live from NAMM. I want to do a live Q&A. You know, they had the truck last year.
Yeah. The truck
with CLA and Pensado just for.
No, us still. I don't want to sell out to CLA.
Oh mate, CLA is so wonderfully mental, isn't it?
I did a video a couple of years ago for Production Expert, and it was a Waves video, and they asked me to do it. And it was a CLA thing, and I probably shouldn't be saying this out loud, but it got blocked by YouTube because the song he was using wasn't even out yet. Therefore, it instantly got pulled down by YouTube, and then the 2 editorial team got involved, and they watched it, and we went, we could never put this out. It was hilarious. Anyone who's ever been to NAMM
CLA has never even seen his plugin till the second. In the latest one, he actually does it, and he goes, "Oh, what? There's a button there." I watched it in the lockdown, a Waves live stream, and the developer's like trying to sell it and all that stuff, and he's like, he's not even awake. He's never seen it.
It's a lovely T-shirt he's wearing, though.
But that's what I say. It doesn't detract from the product. I actually just love the characters sometimes, and I wish that the consumers get so wrapped up in him. And so I'm like, but isn't it great we've got a CLA? And so what? He doesn't know what the product is. It's rock and roll. He's like the Keith Richards of plugins.
Yeah. and the funny thing is that, so I've chatted to him, and that, without the audience, there's another person on the high tech show floor who's really lovely, but and when you get them alone, without their persona on, they're a really nice, normal human being.
Of course.
But you put a camera in front of them, and they become that character, and you just go, bored now.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to say who it is either.
Tim, you're right, Tim. Tim's in. He had the kids. He had to get the kids sorted.
Mate,
at least you didn't drop them off at the pool.
Tim, I totally feel your pain. Our bubble burst this week. And for those of you who care what that sort of thing is, basically, one of the kids at school was diagnosed positive, which sent home 3 of the years of school. So my kids have got an extra 2 weeks off school, which is really.
I had it. I was off for 2 weeks. We had to shut the studio down. Yeah,
Nasty.
I had it, but luckily it all worked. You know, we're in these different rooms and we do it, but it wasn't fun. Have you had anyone who's had it? Or?
Yeah.
I know someone very poorly with it.
Died from it, mate.
Oh yeah, it's horrid, but it kicked my ass, man. It's funny because on the videos I get like on the Anderton's ones, they're like, we got a lot of them. I don't know, people chiming in, just going, "Oh yeah, you're worse," and you're like, "Mate, you ain't got a clue."
Yeah.
Anyway, enough of that. By the way, Jack, thanks for carrying the answers. Oh, thank you, man. Cheers, Tim. I really don't carry it. I mean, I'm in the annex just like I am here. I think Lee Anderton was the first time he ever watched one of my videos the other day. He's like, "We've got a synths channel. Why have we got a synths channel?"
No, your videos are great. I love it. It's always entertaining.
Did a fold-up keyboard the other day. That was proper tap. Yeah, by Blackstar. Blackstar have made a fold-up keyboard.
Blackstar amps.
Oh yeah, 88 key fold-up concertina keyboard. I'm like, I wish I did videos on, like you do videos on fucking like beautiful new Les Pauls and stuff, and like custom shop Anderson guitars, and I get a fold-up tap piano. In my video, the only thing I could do, I just kind of skipped along a lane with it in a bag. I think it was the best thing to do with it. It's a bit hard, like on the Simps, because every one is a new product, and I try to warn the audience, Tim, if you haven't noticed, that I don't know about it. So I'm constantly doing videos and stuff I just don't know about, which is disconcerting.
I think that's good though. That's a good video, you know, just opening something up and going, right, how does this work?
And I think it goes, I excuse myself because it's a shop, and I've said before that whole thing is, it's a music shop, and what do we used to use? You go up to turnkey, right, and then go play all the keyboards, and you'd see how quickly you could get along with it, and that's what I want to put across to the people watching it.
Yeah,
absolutely.
No, I like that.
I remember back in the day, you'd go into turnkey, and there was those 3 pillars which had like about 4 keyboard stands on each corner of the pillar.
Because you couldn't go play. I know I'm not trying to pretend like I'm old and wise, but in the same, you couldn't go. That turnkey was the place to go play a Nord, for example. That was the first time I played one.
Yeah.
And then what was it? Was sound control was downstairs in the Virgin of Oxford Street, wasn't it? Was it sound control?
Oh, I know the one you mean. It wasn't sound control.
It was a huge,
wasn't it?
Yeah, and clearly a music shop biting off more than they can chew, trying to take the entire basement of the Virgin Records store on Oxford Street, and there was never anybody in there.
No,
because you know, you take a small shop and you put nobody in there, it still feels quite busy. You take an enormous shop like that and no one in there, it's like,
oh, I've got a question for you guys. I want to see, have you checked out Cranbourne Audio?
Yes.
Yeah.
Expand.
As in, do I think it's good stuff? Do I like it? Do I know about the origins of the company?
So I always used to say to the guys at UA, why don't you sell like a little box that just expands, because it's got the ADAT on it.
Mm-hmm.
But weirdly, like most ADAT expanders in my brain were like 8-channel rack things.
Yeah.
And then the other day, it's like my dreams came true, and then I saw this Cranbourne Audio thing. And it seems too good to be true.
500 series with ADAT.
with ADAT, and then you can flip it. It's got a summon mixer in it as well, so you can either track with it and unreal. Andertons are stocking them.
The Camden mic trees sound amazing.
Really?
Really, really good. They also do a thing if you need to move large amounts of audio easily. It's quite an old school technology, and I can't remember what it's called for the life of me. Basically, you get four XLRs, which converts down to an Ethernet cable with a breakout cable on the other end. So basically, it's 4 channels of mics or lines over Cat5 or Cat6.
It's incredible, man. Like, I want to see Paul see what he could do with it.
No, I spoke to the guys in NAM. I said, like, can you get us one over? And they were like, oh yeah, great. And then like absolutely nothing.
Sean is the super crazy mad scientist. They're all Cranbourne Audio. Obviously, they're all ex of come on, brain. Soundcraft. That's their origins. Yeah. Sean went to work with James Young at Sonic, then SE, then what's it called? Aston.
Yeah.
But Sean's now started his own thing, and it's amazing stuff. Their stuff's really good, really solid.
It's like it was designed in my dreams.
It's good stuff.
But because like turning up to a session with the X4 or a Twin and that Cranbourne thing, what? And then like you said, that little Cat5 Snake, they do a little thing. So if you're like, oh yeah, it's noisy in here, go in the other room, you can just run a Cat5 and it's got headphone on it. It's got 2 inputs, 2 outputs in the little box.
Very, very cool box.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
I'm trying to get them to come to Anderton's to show it to me because I just want to see it in the flesh. I kind of don't believe it how good it looks.
It was good. Good stuff.
Any more questions from you guys? Say we're a bit out over time, but that doesn't matter.
Have you played? I'm thinking about. I got my Lazy J out there, and I was going to buy. I want to do wet, dry, wet.
Right.
And I was going to buy the new Bad Cat Paw, which was like a stereo valve amp. But I think word on the street, they're struggling with the power, like making American stuff for the English market. It's just not coming up. Have you had a go on the Iridium or the Helix? Because that's what I'm.
No,
I want the Drew's experience.
I got the. And
I say that because I'm thinking my Lazy J's in the middle. That's real, and I love that. But just always running my wet effects. Do I really need a real amp for the effects? What's that? The Boss thing?
Yeah, a little GT1000 core.
Oh, it's smaller than I thought.
Yeah, it's great. And it sounds great. It's a great little unit. It's a great little unit.
You do wonders on that Katana, man.
Oh,
wonders.
Thanks, mate. Well, no, Boss have been good actually. We're starting to sort of talk and stuff, so it's getting there.
It makes you like you genuinely make me think, why did I spend any money on anything else? What you get out of the Katana is unreal.
They are really good though. Those things, aren't they?
I can believe it. I sent your videos to my dad the other day. He's got some students, and they had a budget of 500 quid. And yeah, he's getting an Epiphone Les Paul and a 50-watt Katana.
Perfect.
Yeah, that's a great. God, could you imagine that when we started?
Oh
mate, that would be bonkers, wouldn't it?
I mean, I've still got my Epiphone. It's a Sheraton, so it's a 335.
Nice, yeah.
But obviously it's a 90s one, so they were still made by Gibson back then. I think they've still certainly got Gibson
but
parts.
That Katana's crazy. Yeah. Have you tried? Is that next? Is it called the Next One or Next Tone?
Next Tone.
I got one down here. The boss sent me one actually. It's really good.
How much more money is that?
I don't know. I think it's about 500 quid for this one, but it's not like a Katana where like the Katana's got everything in it. It's just it's like a great sounding clean channel with like different valve output types. It's not valve, but you've got 606s, 84s, 34s, I think. And it's got some effects in it, but it's not like a Katana. It's not like it hasn't got like loads of effects. But if you just want a good tone, perfect, but don't expect all the effects from it because it's
Mm.
they've spent the money on the tone as opposed to the
I think
effect.
it's amazing what you do with having all the boss effects in. Imagine that as a kid as well.
Yeah.
Well,
I
I mean,
wonder what a vibratus pedal sounds like. Oh, I've got one.
but
yeah,
what
true.
kids have had is a Line 6 Spider or a Marshall was it
Cool.
D
Code.
whatever they're called.
That's
And
it.
And the problem with all those things is, in fact, generally the problem with all these amps that have got a million effects built in is kids use them all at 100%, and that's not how guitar effects should be set up. So actually, the one thing that you've done for the last year or so you've been doing it, Paul, is teaching people that it's not all about 100% on the effects. It's about 5 to 10% on the effects to give yourself some space and some air, rather than on the
That's really good, man.
on the
I
feed.
want to see you link up with that pedal show. I feel like
That'd be great.
I think that Mick and Dan would really appreciate how you're because I get the same thing and I watch your videos, like just the building block. And you sold me on check this out. This is how much I'm a Studio Rats fan. And thanks. Who's chiming in about the Iridium? Used the Iridium for a while. Really like the tones from the Fender, but I get a much better Marshall tone out of the UADs. Because that's what I was thinking.
I've heard Hank's tone out of his that he gets at the UAD.
Which one? Do you like the JMP or either? Or
I think was it the Plexi, Hank? Let us know which one you use because it did sound great.
Because I've done a fake wet dry wet just in console and it was great.
Oh, great.
I just thought I'll just put 3 amps on the channel.
Yeah. Oh, I know what you bought. I know what
he's bought as well.
What do you think?
In my little pick box.
He's bought a metal pick, hasn't he?
Check them. Check those two. What do you think? They're great, aren't they?
This one, and you were so right, Paul. And
great.
Go check out Paul's video on what did you entitle it? Metal pick, or like the best thing you could buy for under 15 quid?
Yeah, the best guitar accessory for a tenner or something like that.
No clickbait. He was telling the truth. I ordered it, and it's mad, man. Because I've also got these little the German ones that Edge uses.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
with the little dimples on.
Oh, so they're metal ones, are they?
No, they're called. What are they called? They're made in West Germany, and you buy them off. I buy them off Amazon, and they take about a week to come.
Oh, right.
They're from Germany, and these are the exact picks that the Edge used all the time, and they've got a very unique dimple. Not like people go, "Oh, you use the dimple one." Honestly, man, Herco, yes, low fat. Thank you, Matt.
Good work.
Herco. Thank you, bro. But that is a unique sound, Paul. I'd love to see you do a video on these. Get a Herco pick, and you will hear it, man. It's like a little squidgy noise at the beginning, but then this is a different type of attack, right?
Yeah,
and on acoustic, it sounds amazing.
It's super bright, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like a contact instrument almost. Like I get all that brightness, and
I think I'd actually like a share of the royalties, the writing royalties, on one of those songs because I introduced you to the pick. So I think, I think,
mate, I would like a share on the royalties as well.
The only other thing I can compare that pick to was I think it was back when it was either the London Guitar Show or the London Music Show back in the day. I was on the Patrick Eggle booth because I have a Patrick Eggle and I love it. And he'd made a Berlin Pro, which is that guitar, but with an aluminium machined top, a thick plate of aluminium on the top.
Wow.
And it zing! Absolutely tear your face off with top end. It was amazing. It was the brightest guitar I've ever played. It was like, wow, this is beyond Telecaster levels of brightness.
Oh, awesome.
Because in the studio, that's that weird thing that you just want extremes sometimes. Now I'm in here with you guys, the Studio Rats. It does inform I feel I'm buying different gear than I would. I always used to think, how could I gig it? That's why I sold the King of Tone, because I thought, oh, hang on, I don't need it actually sets me back having 8 drive pedals because of it's the speed. We're just always wanting speed.
Yeah.
There's hardly any time because the artists are always in here with us, predominantly, and so we've got to keep it moving quick. The other one, anyone out there who's into software instruments, check out Sound Gas. No, not Sound Gas, Sound Dust. Sound Dust instruments. You can buy them on the Spitfire website, but don't go to his website. He's called Sound Dust. He's a guy in Brighton, and he makes the best. Oh man, this guy. They're the best, like crusty, like lifelike samples I've ever played. They're beautiful. Nice. Yeah, they're so beautiful, and something different as well. Like you can't buy them in any keyboard. It makes anything from Contact or those guys just seem stale. Sound.
The Spitfire stuff is good for that. I always think the Spitfire stuff. If beautiful. You want super smooth LA, you go the East-West libraries because they are super clean and lush and lovely. If you want something a bit more gritty, Spitfire.
Yeah. See you, Mike. Thank you, Mike.
Take care, Michael. See you soon.
Do you know what? It's the longest one we've ever done. We need to wrap it up at some point.
Okay, yeah, you got family. I'm a loner, man. I live here. So.
My wife, she should be pining. She'll be pining now.
The fields.
Yeah, now you got that ring back.
Yeah, the ring's all right. I fixed it.
Hey guys, it's a real pleasure. Nice one on 10,000, man.
Thanks, mate. Oh no, much appreciated. Cheers.
That's come around quicker than. Do you know what I mean? Look at it.
Yeah, and it's going up. It's saying now. It's saying up. We're doing about 500 a week at the moment, which is great. Which is
let the old boys go. How very
you
rude.
Can't. That's what's really weird. What's up, Tim? It's weird. You can't pick what people like. Do you find that? I can't. I've never made a video for anyone would like. It's always the weird ones.
The ones you think are going to do really well are the ones that bomb, and the ones that you think
always happens
are the ones that just go.
But that's what's beautiful, isn't it, about it? And I find YouTube really fun is that you don't like with songs, and you often think that way, especially when we're working professionally. But with YouTube, it's kind of nice that you can't pick. Once you realise that you might as well just make what you want. So
Yeah.
And the thing is that if one person views it and gets something from it, it's worth it. And the fact is that if one person views it, there's probably a couple of hundred, or which then becomes a couple of thousand. Then all of a sudden, you've got quote unquote a following. I've been reading this book called The Tools of Titans, which is a follow-up to Tim Ferriss's 4-Hour Work Week. And one of his things is nurture your top 1,000 fans.
Yeah.
Because your top 1,000 fans are the ones who are going to buy every release, every T-shirt, every hoodie, every scarf, every pick, every monochromed whatever. They're the ones you need to nurture, because it's like the 80-20 rule thing. They're the ones who are going to spend the money on. So focus on them. If you get 1,000 views on all your videos, the chances are you're actually focusing on that 1,000 people. And they're the ones who are going to keep coming back. It's been quite an interesting listen.
And they're nice, aren't? And they're 1,000 people that you get on with. Because one thing I've seen going to NAMM talking about that was just how nice everyone is. That's what I like about YouTube compared to gigs. It just seems a lovely thing. And there's people here watching. Thanks for hanging out. I appreciate it. Thanks for inviting me, chaps.
That's all we're doing. We're just hanging out and having a laugh. Because at the moment, we can't do this in a pub. Yeah. And the truth of the matter is, even if we could do it in a pub, we probably can't do it as regularly because you're there, I'm here, and we're all busy. Whereas an hour,
next time catch up. I should get the screen share going, and maybe I could show, because I just need to learn all that stuff. Because maybe I could show you all the master bus stuff. We got some sessions here.
We should do that. We should do that. Let's do that in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, I don't mind showing that stuff. Mark's. We've got no secrets. Yeah. Oh,
yeah,
nice. Yeah, that ODR one. I had one of those. That's the thing, Hank. I bought all of them, and I realized that I sounded shit with all of them. And then, so I might as well just have one that I can sculpt my shitness.
On that note,
sculpt your shit, guys.
Yeah, tonight's show is brought to you by
Cheers, guys. Thanks for joining us.
Hey, it's
Thanks,
good to see you, James. Good to see you,
It's been
Paul.
like an hour and 45 on this.
I'm sorry.
Jack,
Every
as
time.
always, it's been a pleasure. It's a pleasure to hang out with you guys and just chew the audio fat. Hopefully you've enjoyed it too. We'll be back next week. We have no idea what next week will be. Maybe we'll have a guest. Maybe we won't. We'll no one knows really. Might be Jack again. He might get bored. Just
I said, mate, anytime. Just phone me up. I'm the stand-in. It could be a running gag, like, oh, who we wanted this week. You're like, this week we're going to have CLA, but
gentlemen and ladies out there, hopefully there's a couple. We will see you again very soon. Same bat time, same bat channel next Wednesday evening. Take care, everyone. Have a good week and stay safe.
Cheers, guys.